SHODO! Tsukuyomi!
Hey guys, welcome to the 61st episode of the Soda Pop Podcast. As always, I'm your host, Frozen Stratos. Here with me today we have...
Josh.
And the most powerful ship of all, Zero Tsukuyomi.
No, do not ship! Do not ship! Actually, yes, please ship them to me as soon as you possibly can.
There you
I
go,
take that
there it
back.
He wants
guys,
them right now.
Yeah. But guys, we have a lot of news. We have a lot of small news bits, but then we're gonna get into the big news bits, like the SHODO GO GO 5 stuff that was all really cool, and I'm very excited to talk about it. But like I said, we've got a bunch of quick news first, and then after all the news, we're gonna get into my thoughts on shodo-x 9. Malunis, I don't think you got them, did you?
Nope.
Okay, alright, so I'm just gonna quickly shoot out my thoughts for shodo-x 9, and then we're gonna read the reviews from you guys. So, without further ado, Malunis, you decided to make a very nice outline for us this week. Why don't you tell us, in your order, how you want to go about these quick little news bits?
Yeah, so the first one, I guess, is the most important one. We finally got it. The trademark for the next series is Kamen Rider Saber, which is written with the Japanese kanji for holy or sacred, which can be read as sei, and the kanji for blade, which apparently can be read somewhat close to ba. From what I could tell, the closest was yaiba, but sometimes they kind of cheat that a little bit.
And that kind of reminds me, you said the kanji for blade, and that's different than the kanji for sword, right? Which we recognized from the Blade stuff. That Blade's actual name isn't Blade! And everything's a lie!
I was actually going to say, I was looking this up before we started recording. The kanji they use here, I think, is different from the one that's used for Kamen Rider Blade. It's like, apparently there's like a very similar one that just means blade. I don't know.
Interesting. Okay, I mean,
if
whatever,
I'm wrong, then I'm wrong.
Like, really, at this point, it's just a name. But what we can do is speculate what we think the subtitle is going to be. Like how we get Ride, how we get AI.
Oh, that's right. Yeah.
Yeah. Where are we landing here?
You know, it's actually kind of hard to guess at that when we don't really know anything besides a name, but based on the name, maybe Holy or Blade.
You might have something there.
Honestly, I could see Blade. I don't know why, but...
Yeah. At the very least, what we could speculate on is what kind of motif this is going to be. A lot of people were thinking of... Well, the name, like Sacred Blade, makes it sound very fantasy-based, sort of mystical.
Yeah.
And also, a lot of people saw the name Saber and were immediately like, hey, the Fate series is pretty popular.
I mean, they could do a collab like they did with Fize and, what was
Hello Kitty, the logical one?
Yeah, Hello Kitty, yeah.
The logical one.
Yeah. That would be adorable.
Isn't Kaiser's actor like a writer for something Hello Kitty related?
Is he? I'm not sure.
Oh, wow.
I didn't know that.
I didn't know that.
That's bizarre. Immediately after this trademark was going around, I did see on Instagram someone made a custom Kamen Rider Saber for Xaid.
Oh, that's cool.
Using, like, Fate kind of design elements on
copy. Oh, gotcha. Nice.
Yeah, I've already seen some fan art out there for, like, what people want to kind of see.
Yeah, I mean, like, I'm open to anything, honestly. Like, Kamen Rider's just gonna be Kamen Rider, and SHODO's just gonna be SHODO. I'm just gonna enjoy it all anyway.
That's true.
You know what? What did we go through? Build, Geo, well, Xaid, Build, Geo, and then
0-1.
Now we're at 0-1. I haven't had a situation where I was collecting Shodo and didn't like the show. because I wasn't collecting SHODO during X8. So I wonder if, I'm not saying Saber's gonna be bad, but if it is, I do wonder how invested I'd be in the SHODO line.
Oh yeah.
Well, you're gonna have to be, because we're still gonna be getting 0-1 characters in Saber's line.
Well, yeah, obviously, but God, the movie figures are gonna show up there, aren't they?
Oh, yeah, absolutely.
More on that.
100%.
But yeah, I don't know. I'm interested to see what the future holds here.
Yeah.
Which is
you were saying SHODO is going to be SHODO. Speaking of, Minipla is going to be Minipla because they made a Kiramaijin Glister injection variation, even though these guys already have a lot of sparkling going on.
Yeah.
I've heard from a lot of people that it doesn't look different.
From what I can see,
I'm literally holding Minipla Kiramaijin right now because I'm building it, and I don't see much of a difference. Between this one and the one that they're going to be making. I think it's just really, if you didn't get the first set, you could get this one.
Oh yeah, probably. Like, this might actually be a
watch
better
out.
deal.
If you don't shave down the nubs enough, you might get a Glister on your thumb. Yeah.
No. No.
Good job.
Why is it named Glister? What does Glister mean?
They mentioned something about it on there. Glister is actually an English word. It means to glitter.
To glitter.
It sounds gross, but sure.
It
okay,
does.
Whatever, English. You do what you do.
What I was going to say, though, is that just from the comparison images on there, what view you can actually see this on, the black plastic does have a lot more of a sparkle to it.
Okay. I mean, here's the thing, though. Are they going to release everything with Glister injection?
I guess the other question is, have they done it with previous series?
Well, that's the thing. It's if
they've done
it's
clear
so
versions
close,
before.
Huh?
They've done clear versions before.
Yeah. But if it's so close to the main release, is there merit to getting this instead of, not in conjunction with, just instead of the initial? Are there going to be any other in this similar line that are going to back it up? You know what I mean?
I don't know.
Do we have evidence of that happening?
That's what I was asking, but I was about to say,
not that I know.
I feel like more than one in Kyuranger.
I was mostly hands off for all that stuff. The only time I bought Kyuranger stuff was the Yudo. Oh no, and then I bought the Pavo Kyutama because I saw it in a bookstore and I was like, ooh, magazine. Kyutama, mine now.
Corey, you need the X8 Kyutama.
I absolutely do not.
The only real thing of note to me with this release is that the heads are kind of new. Like, they don't require stickers, and from what I saw, there actually is kind of new molding for them.
Yeah, I think they're done a lot better than the main one. I do like how they look there.
Oh yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, I what few Minipla that I have, the thing that I always find really annoying with each of them, and it's just like, every time I assemble a new one, I just remember, oh right, this part, is the fact that there's a sticker on a very tiny face.
Yep.
Ugh, I hate that. That sucks. I don't... Because, you guys do Minipla. I have Super Minipla, and I don't think they've ever done that for me.
Like, when I was building the Kiramaijin this afternoon, the head had, for just the land mage mode, had 5 stickers just for the head.
Ooh.
Yeah, I mean, I'm understanding now why other people are so turned off by when I talk about SHODO stickers. Because, it's the outside looking in and being like, oh, wait, yeah, I'm glad I don't have to do that. And I'm getting that similar vibe here. Oh, wait, I'm glad I don't have to do that. But,
that's fair.
Once it's done, I'm sure it's you don't even think about it anymore.
Yeah.
It's just a part of the experience, so...
small aside, I was talking to someone recently about SHODO, just describing it to them, and they were just immediately like, that sounds like a really dangerous rabbit hole that I don't want to be part of.
Also, I gotta say, I love how I'm pretty sure on every episode, on different occasions, you're always talking to someone about SHODO.
I gotta find my outlet.
Hey, that's fair. Like, I don't typically... There's no outlet for me to go door to door telling people about SHODO. Like, everyone I know already knows enough about it from me. I've never had to like try to convert someone, so that's interesting.
Well, it's not even so much converting as it is just talking to my friends who know nothing about Toku and trying my best to explain why I'm really excited about Barotha Magia.
That's fair.
Boy, that was a hard one to describe. Just like so dude, there's this character.
I'm telling you, man, his abs. It's the funniest. Never mind.
They sold them on Premium Bandai.
Yeah.
No, that's not a bar of soap.
No. But yeah, so that was our Glister injection talk.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, you mentioned Super Minipla. Speaking of, Liner Boy combines. Yes. And it looks nicer than the original toy probably did. In fact, they actually did this thing where...
as well.
Yeah, they did this funny kind of shot where they had the legs together and they kept the original hands, it looks like, and it's very tiny hands. But then they just swapped them out with these much larger fists.
Huh.
Which I am... From what I've understood from WTF at TFW, seems like one of the things that's kind of a hard sell with Super Minipla is lots of parts that you can swap out.
I mean, yeah, you know what? That is a thing that I've noticed with those. Like, you have the one where you get to do the transforming with it, the one I typically keep on, and then you get the display version. And then just there's no spot for any of the extras, which is unfortunate.
Just gotta keep it all in the bag.
I guess it's just then where do you put the bag? You can't display it next to it. What if you put it somewhere where you forget?
You put the bag in another bag.
You're right.
Put the bag next to the
box. Oh my god!
box.
Why haven't I been putting it in the bag? You right?
It's right there, Corey. It was so obvious the whole
I know.
time.
You're right.
But we also have like I guess the big news here, which is after I think we might have wondered about this, but this has definitely been something that's coming up in conversation before. The summer movies, those were supposed to be like late July, right? We haven't really heard anything about them, right? Toei has officially confirmed.
Are we talking about the SAL stuff first?
Oh, right. Right, SAL.
Briefly before we move on from Minipla.
Yep.
Set 5 for Kiramager just went up for pre-order yesterday.
Oh yeah.
For an October release. So that's a thing that's happening. So
yeah. And
not much else to say about it.
There are also some other pre-order things that we will get to, during the big news area.
Yes.
Right.
Okay, carry on.
Japan Post has at least started, I think it's both airmail and SAL, but it's not for US, it's for a bunch of different parts of the world. Do you happen to have the link handy?
I do not, and I have a feeling that even if I did, I'm saying this as it's opening up, even if I did, they'd probably have just the pictures of the flags, and I'd have to interpret all of that.
Well,
I'm
the
pretty
link
sure
I
it was like
thinking of,
most countries except for the US and Australia.
Yeah.
Well, the link I was thinking of was like a CS Toys or a blog post.
Oh, okay. Give me 1 sec. Let me try to get there.
It was originally a blog post where they initially announced that SAL had been closed down, but they have since updated it by saying, hey, SAL has opened up for these parts of the world. It's also opened up for these parts of the world.
Don't worry, I will find it. Talk about the movie stuff first, though.
Yeah, so what I was going for was, we've been wondering, I don't know if it's us specifically who've been wondering, but various people in the fandom have been wondering what's the deal with the summer movies, because we have not heard anything about them for a while, and they were supposed to debut in late July. Toei has now finally officially announced that they have been postponed. They did not say canceled. That's an interesting thing to note.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, if you had all the stuff, like pre-production stuff ready to go.
Yeah.
True.
You know what? That's
honestly,
really
I thought it was more interesting that... I mean, I figured the Kiramager one would be delayed, but I wasn't sure if they would still bother with a 0-1 one, since it would come out after the show was over.
I was about to say, I would sooner question if they would even bother with Kiramager, because usually the Sentai movies are practically like an episode.
No, that's fair too. Yeah, I didn't think about that.
Which makes me wonder if maybe we'll see that on TV instead.
Okay, I found the delivery update. This was made on... This is in a very different order. Yeah, the 19th. And then 2020/06/19. Japan Post restarted to accept EMS and airmail again for the following countries from June 18th. Okay. Estonia, Austria, Croatia, Sweden, Spain, Slovakia, Czech, Denmark, Norway, Hungary, Bulgaria, Belgium, Poland, Portugal, Latvia, Lithuania. I thought that had a TH in it. Luxembourg. Yeah.
No confirmation for United States, Canada, Mexico, Panama.
No.
Yeah, unfortunately.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's probably just a matter of time at this point.
Yeah. I mean, I'm sure
Hopefully.
they only open those ones up probably because they get such a low volume of stuff getting sent back and forth from those countries.
Oh yeah, I would imagine.
Or I mean, I have no idea about the economics of Japan and exports, so I have no idea. This is pure conjecture. Maybe Croatia is their biggest exporting country. I have no idea. But
It's
I
a
also
big
heard,
surprise, but yeah, it is.
I also heard, I don't remember if you remember this conversation, Josh, but I think Chris Long had brought up something like he had heard that the US is stopping them from opening EMS and all that stuff here. It wasn't the...
Yeah,
Japan
I remember
part.
that conversation.
I remember the conversation. I didn't get any sort of confirmation on where that came from.
Yeah, I haven't seen anything that says that. I think he was just kind of like assuming that could be the issue.
Okay. So I don't know. It could be any number of things. The point is, I'm not getting my toys from SAL. So
Yeah, exactly.
yeah. Whether
That
or
is
not
the
it's our
takeaway.
fault or not, like, has no bearing on it being like, we can't do anything about it. So it'll be open when it's open.
Right.
But yeah, I don't know, man. And like, to the summer movie stuff, like, I don't know that I ever saw them get. I don't think that they'd ever like fully cancel them. To what Malunis was saying, like the Sentai ones are just glorified episodes. So if you put that on if you put that up on the Toei Tokusatsu channel or whatever,
Or the fan
I
club.
feel like that'd be fine, right?
Yeah, that could probably work.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And this sort of news is also really going to make me look at anything that we see from the 2020 winter movie, if that's still a thing. It's going to make me look at that a little bit weirdly, because I'll be thinking, hey, that kind of looks like something they would do in a summer movie.
You know what?
Like-
I mean, I wonder if they did potentially want to cancel it, but then, contracts, and we're like, hey, these actors were promised this amount of episodes, this amount of movie stuff.
Well, I mean, I don't know if that's necessarily the case, because we know that 01 is ending earlier than it was probably supposed to.
Probably, yeah.
And so it looks like they're not really, if they were guaranteed some number of episodes, it looks like they're not going to hit it.
Potentially there's like a minimum. Again, another thing, pure conjecture. I don't know.
Oh, right, yeah. We have nothing to back any of this up. We're just guessing.
Yeah.
But, yeah, I don't know. See, it's also tricky because of the fact that, like, we don't know any toys related to either summer movie. Like,
yeah.
For the last couple of years, Rider has had all of their summer movie stuff be premium. So, I'm not surprised we didn't hear anything about 01.
Yeah,
but we had yet to hear for, like, a Kiramager mecha that was going to be a movie exclusive. So, that's kind of interesting. So, I don't know what's going on there.
And, I mean, this... Roland, the red Roland came out. I wonder if it was just going to be, like, another red Zord, or, like, what if the main three just all got a red version? Or Sky Mage. Sky Mage got a red version.
Oh, that could work, yeah.
Yeah. Maybe. I don't know. Again, pure conjecture. Did you know that Croatia is Japan's top exporting country?
I know now, and I will never forget.
Yeah, good. I'll quiz you at the end of this.
Oh, okay, good.
Yeah. Hey, let's talk about Shodo.
SHODO Go Go Vo. I mean, Go Go 5.
Yeah. Wait, why did you put Go Go Vo? Was that an accident, or did I do that?
I did that just because of how many O's there were in this.
Fair. That's fair. I see what's happening here. Yeah, that makes sense. Dude, so we had that initial Go Go 5 post that blew up in, like, the fandom at large, just because, like, Kamen Rider stuff just sort of happens, but when it's Sentai stuff, that usually technically brings in some Power Rangers eyes. So yeah, Shodo's back with more Go Go 5 updates, and I was very excited to see what they had in store for us. Nothing too new, but they did update the sculpt from when they had initially talked about it. One of the major changes, one of the few changes actually, was there's a back peg, so then it's compatible with the Shodo stands, or the Shokugan stands. And then there was a sort of like cross-section look at the crotch to show that they do actually have the drop crotch, so you can get extra range of motion out of it. And then the female mold, that's going to have the skirt made out of PVC. I have a feeling we sort of speculated that was going to be the case.
Makes sense.
And it has a cut in the side to just make range of motion a little easier. The hands, though, for pink, are a completely different mold. And they're only slightly smaller. The hands are only slightly smaller by, like, millimeters. But they did this just to get the proportions right. You guys were talking in the Discord about something we're going to talk about later, Tsukuyomi, about how her hands looked kind of big, and you were speculating it was, like, basically just Gio's hands.
Oh, yeah. I recognize them.
Yeah, so that could potentially be why, that slight change was made, just to get those proportions dialed in, because, like, as evidenced by what some of you guys have seen, Tsukuyomi's hands are kind of huge. So, just
plus it's premium Bandai.
Yeah, exactly, and they have the budget. And you know what? They're probably more willing to pour money. Like, not necessarily take a loss on this release, but like take in less money just to have those molds available for the next potential Shodo release.
I mean, I would like to think that they're planning on doing more.
Yeah, and like they even said in the first blog that with this mold, we expect people's expectations to be greater. Because we now have the female mold. And yeah, obviously you're not going to pour tons of R&D to, I think, the very first female Shodo figure ever, like just across any of their lines. So obviously I think there's going to be more here. And then the biggest thing I was excited to learn about was the neck, which is a very strange sentence now that I'm hearing myself saying it. But there's a chunk that was taken out of the neck in Shodo Super's first Sun Vulcan release, but they were able to cover that up with a scarf. In this release, like in the initial release, we saw that similar cutout in the neck, but this time they made it bigger so that they could put in like a spot for the negative space. And that they were talking about how, like, they were talking about the why in terms of why they would put such a big hole in the back of the neck, and it has to do with how plastic cools, and how the amount of plastic relates to, I guess, the durability of the part itself. So if you pour too much plastic into the mold, the inside cools down at a different rate than the outside. So once the outside's all cooled down, that's cool, it's fine, it's hardened. But then once the inside's cooled down, it shrinks, because like, I guess once plastic cools, it always shrinks. So once that shrinks, it creates like this sink in the surface of the plastic. So that's why they can't have the entire neck in one mold. And I thought that was just
that's the thing that you were having trouble translating before.
Yeah. I mean, like, it wasn't that I was having trouble. Everything was making sense. It just took forever. And I was like, you know what? Mm-hmm. Since I'm doing so much work for this, I'm going to make it a whole graphic. And you can see that whole graphic in our news post about it. I'm also putting that in the news episode. Huh?
I thought you did a really good job with it.
Oh, thank you.
Yeah,
I was happy because like no other toy line really goes into the engineering too much, and this is stuff really? I'm sure I learned in my manufacturing classes. So
probably.
It's cool to see, and I really wanted to highlight it. So I wanted to make that there. It's a small thing, and only like 5 people are gonna get excited about it, but I think it's really cool, so I took the time to make sure
it's worth
people
it.
could understand.
It's worth it.
Yeah, thank you.
Be interesting to see how this set turns out, because obviously in Japan people know Sun Vulcan. Over here people know Sun Vulcan but probably don't like it as much. But I could see how this one got a lot of attention, because it's like, oh, this is a Sentai / Power Ranger series I know.
Yeah, like the rescue mine now. Yeah, because I saw tons of people, just regular Power Rangers fans, pre-ordering this stuff, and
I did too.
Yeah, it's hard to get people on board with, I think, a little over $100 for the whole set.
Mm-hmm.
For just 5 characters, but like, people made the jump, and it was really cool to see. I do wonder though if they're gonna get it and realize, wait a second, this ain't 6 inches tall.
And sound just like that, actually.
Yeah, exactly. Everyone suddenly develops that accent once they open up the
it's very
Go-Go
weird.
5 set. Yeah. It's strange. Quite a strange phenomenon.
Yeah.
Just like how Croatia is Japan's biggest export partner.
Oh, good. A reminder for the end of podcast quiz.
Yeah, that's right. So yeah, Go-Go 5 stuff. No, nothing too new, but some interesting information.
Yeah.
I liked it. All right, let's move on to Zero Tsukuyomi, the name of this episode.
Mm-hmm.
Yes.
Malunis, I've been talking for a while. Actually, wait. Malunis and I have been talking for a while. Josh, I'm throwing you on the spot. Talk about this. Talk about it like you know what you're talking about.
Oh, I totally know. All right, so they had revealed 2 figures that are going to be in AI 9. Yeah, AI 9. And the first one is, even though it hasn't debuted in the show yet, because everything is all weird with the scheduling, 02, which is 01's final form, is here. And is this one of the first times we've gotten like a figure debut before it actually showed up in the show?
That's interesting. That's an interesting...
I feel like it's happened before, but I can't think of when.
I think they're benefiting from the fact that Bandai was just like, hey, we're just gonna lift the information ban or whatever they call it.
Yeah. They just kind of were like, whatever, everyone knows it's happening anyway.
Yeah. So I don't know. I don't know if Candy Toys ever jumped the gun. Interesting.
Yeah. Because, like, we still don't even know what episode it's actually debuting in. So,
yeah.
But all the toys for it are out.
Arguably, Arc Zero should be next.
Yeah, I agree. Technically,
that's
he
true.
should.
Or, Azu.
That would be cool, too.
Yeah.
But going back to it, 02 is going to be in AI 09, which makes sense. And, I predicted this before. It is the way that it's going to be giving us the combined mode of the 2 swords that he has, which I'm blanking on the names of. But this is how that's going to work. There's like an extra peg on the attache caliber. Is that what it's called?
Yeah, I think so.
Yes.
That like allows him to like hold, because they don't really like actually connect. He's basically like holding like 2 swords in one hand at the same time, and it's like gives the illusion that it's connected. It works for what they're trying to do.
Yeah, I feel like this has been a tactic used by like some of the oldest Candy Toys. Like ever since they switched to the peg hands, I'm sure it's been like,
I mean, it makes perfect sense. I mean, it works really well.
Like the earliest that I remember it is Gaim.
Oh, with the combined swords, yeah, that makes sense.
Yeah.
2 things of note here. The Progrise Hopper Blade, I'm never sure which order those words are supposed to be in. This one is actually casted in a color, whereas the original one was painted. So it's a lot more yellow in this one.
Interesting. I didn't recognize that. That's neat.
Yeah, I didn't either.
I recognize it because the details are a lot harder to see.
That's fair.
That makes sense.
The other thing is when I first thought that their solution was to just take the attache caliber that we already have and add a peg to it, I kind of just had a vocal huh. But at the same time, they showed a size comparison, because at first glance I was like, well, that seems like a kind of lazy way to do it. But then when they showed the size comparison and showed that this one is actually a little bit larger, I was like, okay, I see where you're going. Mm-hmm. I'm into it.
Also,
it works.
I gotta think that that's not actually too much work in terms of like design standpoint. You just sort of go, all right, delete initial peg, scale up, put in 2 pegs, done.
It's done.
And then send it off to the manufacturing people, have them cut it out of a die cut mold or steel mold or something, and then print them out, pump out some money.
You got this, Mega House.
Yeah.
Excuse me, are you, like the Mega House guys are just talking to G like, excuse me, are you feeling alright? I think you just sent me a copy of the original. Feeling a little overworked there?
Didn't we already make this?
I hope that this is potentially, like, not further indication, because we haven't had indication at all, but, like, a slight indication that if we do get Kai Sodo, it might come with larger weapons.
Maybe. I do kind of wish that since they are remaking his sword, that they would kind of like fix that gap that's there still. Because it's just too large, and it's always kind of bothering me. But
I hope that once I get it in hand, that the gap there is like the effect of its presence is lessened. Just because the sword is longer and everything balances better. But I see what you're seeing.
Yeah. I just felt like if there was any opportunity they could have, like, did that a little bit differently, it would have been here.
Well, like, I genuinely don't know how else it would work. Because, like...
I mean, I see why it is the way it is, but...
Yeah. Like, the peg where it is... Like, you can't just add, like, forgive me if this gets, like, too, like, 3D modeling program technical, but, like, instead of that cylinder, you extrude out a square, right? So then you get, like, this rectangular box, and then a peg on top of that. Like, on top of that square.
Oh, yeah.
That makes sense?
Yeah,
I don't see that working, especially since, like, that's more of like it's too much of like an outer like it sticks out too much.
Yeah.
So,
I mean they definitely, I feel like they only make it that way because they have to, so it's fine,
right?
But like, going back to the actual 02, I really do like how they're doing the double swords. It's such an easy solution, but it makes sense. But yeah, I'm also just happy that they're including that form. I don't know how much 02 actually use it, because I don't even know if Metal Cluster Hopper ever really used that form. But it does make sense that he would have both swords, since they like doing that now, where the final form just uses the old weapons.
Yeah.
But that's been a thing for like years now. It works. Oh, it does work, yeah.
Yeah.
But if I don't know how much else there was to say about 02, but
I think that was
good.
Unless Malunis, you got something.
Looks good. It's an entirely new mold, so I don't know. I guess the only thing of note there for me is, well, I don't have to worry about trying to replicate the way I paint the other figures. I can just kind of wing it.
That's true. Speaking of paint, which is something I forgot to bring up, they molded this in 3 different plastics, or 3 different colored plastics, and then on top of that, had a bunch of paint on it. Like... If Tsukuyomi didn't take a lot of the budget, 02 absolutely did.
Oh, yeah.
So, there's a lot, I think, that went into, not necessarily paint matching, but, like, getting all the details in there. Even the head, that was PVC, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. Same with, they molded a separate chest piece and then the little scarf hanging off of it. The scarf hanging off of it is PVC, while the chest area, that's ABS. So, that's interesting. I wonder, I have to go back and look, but I wonder if it's cast in white PVC. Because, like, it seemed like, seemed like they had to paint everything, but considering like what we heard earlier about the PVC distribution for O's and how it had to be one color for this figure, so we just had to make it that color for all of them and then paint everything else. That must that has to have been the case here just because of what we're about to talk about with Tsukuyomi, right?
Right. Oh, yeah.
I would say so, yeah.
I mean, logically that makes sense, but I don't know if potentially they were able to, since this is mainline instead of combo change, maybe they did have the extra budget to put in a different PVC, or maybe Tsukuyomi just took up too much PVC that they were like, okay, well that mold's full, I guess we just need to make a new one for 01. I don't know.
Maybe.
We also don't know anything else about what else is in the wave. So who knows? Those could have PVC too.
True. But since we've already mentioned her,
yeah,
a couple of times. So let's see. 10 months after it was first teased by a 3D render of her helmet, Tsukuyomi finally has the SHODO figure for her revealed, and it looks really, really good, in my opinion. So this should be, unless they ever decide to go back and finish another Riders, please, the final Geo SHODO figure. So
I guess so, huh?
They did it. It took them like half of, more than half really, of 01's line at this point.
I joke about how they aren't going back to another Riders, but they include an accessory here that makes me think, it's a shame they didn't make Decade.
Oh, that's true. I didn't think about that. Oh, now I really need it more.
Oh, because of the it's not a beam saber.
That's right. Yeah, whatever they called it. I didn't know it had a name, but
I didn't either.
That was a really cool. Since we did, we can go and just mention it. But they include like her. It's like it's a swappable hand, isn't it? To like make the effect. It's like the light. What is it actually called? I forget. What did they say it was called?
I don't know if it's called anything.
What are you talking about?
It's a thing that she did.
They had a whole part in the blog where they had it have a specific name.
He was like, everyone kept asking for it. Also, for those of you asking, make sure to use the proper name. And the proper name is...
Good job.
Luminous Fractor.
Ah, there it is.
That sounds pretty cool, though.
That does sound really cool. That sounds way too cool for what it actually is.
I know. Like, this is basically the hand, and then you extruded out like that polygon.
They forgot to cut off the remainder of the plastic on that mold. It just kept going.
In Mega House, and this is a true story, by the way, just like Croatia. What had happened was the mold broke and then it spilled out a little bit from the hand, and they were like, "Ooh, we're keeping that." True story.
That looks kind of like that thing she did. It was intentional.
Yeah. But a lot of people were asking for this.
I mean, it's really cool because, like, besides, I'm also really happy that they're including the Fi's phone gun.
Yes, and that was something I was like, hey, you guys should put that in there just because, like, she didn't really use it in the form in the show, but, like, that's technically her signature weapon.
Right, yeah, she always used it.
Yeah.
I didn't realize that they were actually including a re-release of it in here. That's nice.
Yeah, I was happy about it.
See, the thing I was saying way before we even got this reveal was, I don't care what kind of weapon she uses, I've got several copies of Gates' bow she can use.
That's true,
That's fair. That's fair.
It's a gun, technically.
Uh-huh.
It's kind of like a gun.
That's true. I mean, it's got a trigger.
It does.
I'd call it a gun. Like, call it a bow if you want. It's just a glorified gun.
Yeah, pretty much.
But what G had said was like, hey, you may not have thought that she actually used the Fi shot at all ever while she was transformed, but I was at the stage show, boys, and I had binoculars, and she had it in her hand.
Nice.
This means, guys. Stage show, everything is confirmed now.
That's right. Yeah, stage show is canon. Is it stage shows? Are stage shows canon?
I don't even know. Some of them are. Some of them aren't.
The thing is that they never really come up anyway, so it doesn't really matter. But
that's true.
To me, there's two different kinds. One is the one that uses the actors, which is to me the most canon you can get. And the other ones are very clearly just made by people who maybe got permission to make a stage show.
Yeah.
Oh, well, I just meant like the ones that get recorded and you see clips of floating around on Twitter a lot.
Yeah. The ones that come out after the show's over.
Yeah. Not necessarily the ones that happen at the theme parks and such.
Yeah.
Or at malls or whatever.
Yeah, I mean, it definitely seems like the ones that happen after the show, try to be somewhat canon at least, like a little bit. So
they have fun.
Yeah, they do.
Yeah.
But
I was recently pulling up the Gaim one where the plot of it is that all the dead characters get brought back to life.
Yeah.
Oh no!
So it's just like a big fight.
Huh. Well, all right. Also, like I was saying, tons of PVC here.
Oh yeah.
Oh yeah, for sure.
Just like with Zonji's, I'm gonna say that maybe the reason it took this long is because they had to kind of justify the cost. Just like
for sure. I mean, like, between having to do that and also the female mold.
Oh yeah.
It was I mean, I'm not surprised at all that she was the last one to be made.
And on top, like Josh and I were talking before we started recording, and I was like, I love and appreciate the re-release of the Guardian body because I love the thing to death, but I'm wondering, like, this whole set, or not the whole set, but it seems like the re-release of the Magyar mostly and the re-release of the Guardian mostly, that might be a sign of like, hey, we needed to conserve money on these few so that we could spend everything on Tsukuyomi and 02.
Well, it is weird because of the fact that, because we know that, based off, well, we already kind of assumed this from when we broke down the price point, but we also kind of have it confirmed that this is still not it for set 9.
Yeah.
And it's kind of odd because it's like, it's almost like they have to fill these boxes, but like, I don't know why they wouldn't, like, if that was the case, then they had to like have some lower budget figures to go into that to be able to have the higher ones or whatever. I don't know why they wouldn't have just made a set like set 7 and just done like 3 figures.
Mm-hmm.
Well, I don't know. I'm thinking mostly because like, I don't know if you remember that interview with Toku Chris and Greg from Bandai.
Oh yeah, I remember it.
He was talking about how they distribute waves and say you want to release a Hulk figure, that's going to have to be big and you're going to have to take stuff out of like...
Right, because if you want it to be the same price point, you're going to have to...
Exactly.
To take that... Yeah, I remember that exact part from that interview.
So I feel like that's just the case here.
Yeah, okay, I can definitely see that.
Yeah, and like, if you cram them into their own set...
It is weird because... Like I definitely see that with the like old generation Humagear, since that's almost an exact just repaint and new stickers for the Guardian body. But for the Biothra Magia, that still had a lot of engineering into it.
I mean, I wouldn't say.
I mean, in terms of not engineering, but in terms of like new molding for like all the armor parts.
Genuinely, I wouldn't say it's too much. And on top of that, instead of the regular Magyar being 1 box, this is 2 now. And that's added completely new molded stuff. Like, 1 box is just straight up the Magyar. Or, yeah, the Trilobite Magyar without the head. They're selling you, for the same price, the same figure without its head.
They are.
So yeah, having an extra box of just a head and some extra pieces, I mean, I feel like that balances
like that, but you're right.
Yeah, because like these AI 01, 02, this is just a glorified way of saying wave 1, wave 2, wave 3.
Oh, yeah, for sure.
And, like,
they just give it a
feel
special
like,
name.
Yeah, and the distribution is more or less the same as if we're talking about cases in America. They just present them differently here in Japan.
Well, so speaking of the overall wave in general, so how many boxes were we thinking are left?
3.
It's 9 for AI-09, I think. Or 10?
10. It was 10 for 10. Like, the last two were both 10.
I did a kind of an update to the speculation list on our Discord.
Oh, where are you at?
In the Kamen Rider channel. It was, like, I think a day or two ago.
Mm-hmm. But what are you doing for the last 3 of this wave?
Well, all I did was just say, this is how many boxes we know are going to be in each wave, and these are... the way I listed them out was, these are things that will most likely get figures, these are things that are very hypothetical.
That's fair.
It wasn't like a specific wave layout.
So it is interesting, because I would say it's almost guaranteed at this point that 2 of those last 3 are going to be Arc Zero.
I think it is, yeah.
I don't know who else would take up that slot. And so then it really makes you wonder what set 10 is going to be filled with, because now that we're done with the Geo stuff, we don't have to worry about that.
And now that the movies don't exist.
Yeah, right. And now that the movies are postponed, it really makes me wonder what will be in that set. Besides Hopping Kangaroo, they better not forget Hopping Kangaroo.
Yeah.
It needs to happen at some point.
I feel like Hopping Kangaroo is going to be like the Decade 5's form of this line.
Oh, yeah, really just did it, like, finally at the end.
That's going to be like oh, shoot, good, they did it, finally. Also, since G.O., since Build, we haven't had a magazine release of SHODO. And even in this line, we haven't. Like,
because that's what Hopping Kangaroo would have been.
Yeah,
exactly.
It
would have fit that. It would have fit that slot. So that's why it was like it was weird. TV. Yeah, it was Kuma Televi that was for that, and then Level 0 for X8. Mm-hmm. And then and Geo only didn't have that because Geo didn't get a Hyper Battle DVD until after the show with Bill Gates.
Yeah.
So, and usually Rider series, especially recent ones, have gotten their middle of the show Hyper Battle DVD and then their post show one. Mm-hmm. And whatever the post show one is what's ever in the big box every year.
Right.
So we can still get a Hyper Battle DVD in the post show. I mean, I don't know how everything's changed in terms of them planning out the end of 01, and how much that will be affected at this point. But maybe they're just not even going to bother with a second Hyper Battle DVD, and that's how we'll get Hopping Kangaroos. They'll just throw it into that box at the end or something.
Huh.
Because I'm assuming they're probably still going to make the box, because they've done that for 3 years now, so I kind of expect it at this point. Mm-hmm. But it is weird though if that Hyper Battle DVD form made it into the main line, because that's never really happened yet.
Yeah,
we've gotten them every year. They just have never been in the main sets.
But I mean, I think just because we haven't gotten them before doesn't mean we haven't had less obscure things show up and stuff.
Oh well, for sure, we've definitely had very obscure things show up.
Yeah, so I think it might be safe to say, again, this is SHODO. SHODO doesn't do anything we expect. It might be safe to say that Kangaroo shows up here. Might.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, I could see that. I definitely think he's going to be in... We're going to get him before, this is all done.
Yeah. We are getting him.
Because we need slots to fill for the next set, and he's the one thing besides Arc Zero that we still need.
Yeah, and you know what? If he doesn't show up in the main line, we always have to invade the other invade Saber's toy line.
Oh, for sure, for sure.
Speaking of invasions, invading Horseshoe Crab. Need that one.
You see, right? I would like to have that.
Also, I can't remember if this was actually brought up on a podcast. It might have been between episodes, but I was talking in the TokuNet public Discord about like the possibility of the Dodo-Magia getting a figure.
Mm-hmm. Oh, that'd be interesting.
I apparently was not paying attention to design. You could potentially do that very easily, like with just 3 boxes. Because here's the thing.
Oh, yeah, is that including like his upgraded forms or just like the base one?
Well, the thing is that the fully upgraded form, the parts of that are used for his different forms. So you would really just have to like swap around the legs and the upper torso.
Yeah.
And like, here's the other thing. This sounds like a very SHODO move, by the way. If you want to have like the base form Dodo, you cast that head in black so that you could potentially, you would put red stickers on it to make the regular Dodo, or leave the stickers off to resemble the troop builder. Because it's like a black
troop
head.
Builder? Excuse me? Hello? I'm here.
Hey, now Corey
Hello?
needs it.
Yep.
I see what you're saying. The chick form?
What if
it's
they,
like, it's the exact same head, but in black. So it's like, from a SHODO standpoint, you could just like cast the head in black and use stickers to make the red head.
I hear you. I hear what you're saying.
If I recall, it's
I
like
hate the slopes on that head.
Oh,
that's not made for stickering. I'm gonna get so angry.
Regardless, I think.
But yeah, I mean, I never thought about Dodo specifically. But since he was such a popular character at the beginning of the series, I could definitely see them wanting to do that.
Yeah, but the thing that I've always brought up is that, I could see them doing one form, but it seems like there's like 4 different forms, so I don't think they could actually make that work. But when someone brought it up, the way the suits work, I just thought, 3 boxes actually sound doable.
And for how many slots we need to fill, I could see it. I wonder if...
you mean for 09?
Maybe not for 09, but just in general.
I was thinking 10 at the entire time he was saying that.
Oh, okay, yeah.
But I wonder if... I'm kind of under the impression that because of how little there is left for them to do, that... I mean, obviously, I'm sure 10 was planned with the intention of the movies not being delayed. So I wonder if set 10 was supposed to pretty much just be the movie stuff.
Oh yeah, and I was trying to do a little bit of guesswork here. The pre-orders for the last wave came out, I think, a month after the movies were first announced, or something.
Oh, okay.
So
makes sense.
The thing is that I feel like they would potentially know by then that AI-10 would probably not have movie stuff in it.
Yeah. So I wonder
I definitely brought this up in the Discord, and it probably made more sense than it is me trying to recount my logic.
Oh yeah, no, I get what you're saying. I wonder if like they'll still, if there was supposed to be all movie stuff for the most part in set 10, if they'd still bother with that, or if maybe they would push the movie stuff into Saber's line and then come back here and kind of like make obscure stuff for set 10, I guess.
I could honestly see them saying like, hey, so once again, not the intention, but we gotta move the movie stuff.
I mean, it also depends on, because we talked about this earlier in the show, but we never learned anything about the movie except for its release date. So we didn't know the title or how many movie writers there would be or what 01's movie form would be. We never learned any of it. So it's hard to say how many figures we would have gotten because we don't know how many we wish we should have. So
that's true, yeah.
It's really tricky to know because that's why it's like kind of hard to say, maybe set 10 wouldn't have all been movie stuff. Maybe it would have because maybe they needed all the slots for that. We don't know.
Mm-hmm.
So
it also really depends on what their plans were for the movie, because at bare minimum, I would say movie villain and movie form.
Oh yeah, I would say 2 figures at the bare minimum.
Yeah,
but because I mean, I mean, there's nothing to back it up, but like, I don't know. I just didn't really have a feeling that 01 would be as chaotic as Geo's was. Like, I didn't think we would get like a trio of evil riders again. I mean, not out of the question, but I just didn't think that would happen again.
Yeah.
But I kind of figured it'd be like a traditional movie where, you know, like we just said, have a movie evil rider in a movie form.
Yeah. Like, it's not that, like, oh, they probably need to scale back, but more of a thing like, we don't need to make more.
Yeah.
But I don't know. That's, again, pure speculation.
Not that they have a problem carrying this on into the Saber's line, because, you know, we know that they'll be fine with doing that. And they're still going to probably do it, I'm sure. There'll be 01 stuff that we're still going to get. I mean, we've had that every year now. Mm-hmm. Where the previous one has come back. Yeah. So, but yeah, I mean, it all just depends on, like, I mean, who knows? Maybe they'll just make the 01 movie this year's V Cinema, or V Cinex, or whatever they're called.
Interesting.
Maybe they'll just decide we're just doing that or something.
Yeah.
Couple rewrites and it's suddenly a post finale.
Yeah, exactly. Right. They could do something like that.
I mean, they're smushing the rest of their show so far into the end.
Oh, I know.
And you want them to smush whole movie? Big no.
You see, that's another thing I'm really interested about, is just how the show's going to handle, because we can probably assume that the show was supposed to have, like, it was probably going to end at, like, 48 or 49, and now we're going to end at 45. So...
But like, also, we might have just got something like a Thouser arc cut out. So...
That's true.
Could just be trimming the fat. Who knows? It might be a good thing.
It could be. That's very true.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm very interested to see how the show will wrap up with it, because now it only has 9 episodes left, and 10 or 9 or whatever. So I'm very interested to see how they're gonna wrap everything up.
Especially since social distancing and whatnot.
Of course, right.
Did you guys watch 35.5?
Yeah, I did, and that's what we're gonna have, huh?
Yeah, eventually. Like, we got that this week. Didn't they have a few episodes in the can before they went off? They filmed them. They just didn't edit them or whatever.
I feel like they had to have at least filmed like through episode like 37 or 8. Well, we know from the magazine scans that we had at the end of April before they went on break that 36 was at least in the can, because the magazine scans had showed like Arc Zero and like the 4 members of Mitsuba Jinrai like standing in that circle and stuff like that. So we know that they more than likely finished filming 36 before the hiatus.
I genuinely wonder
I would assume
if they're
37
allowed to do. Huh? Oh, okay. I don't hear anyone, so I'm just gonna talk then.
Oh yeah, go ahead. I was listening.
Oh, I'm wondering if like what sort of restrictions they have around suit actors. Just because, like, they have the masks on. I recognize that, the percentage of you getting it, even if you're, in close proximity with masks on, is still high. Not high, but like there is still a percentage, a chance you can get it. So, I don't know.
I also, I'm not really keeping up with the news on the RoboCon movie, which is another thing Toei is doing right now. But apparently that has been moved to a digital release or something. So that was something I saw someone bring up in relation to the movies being postponed.
You know what? That's fair. I completely forgot that you can't go to a movie theater. That's probably why they're not releasing it.
Oh yeah, for sure. Okay. Like if the movie still happened, they would not be released in theaters.
Yeah, I was thinking. Oh yeah, because they probably can't film it. Oh, they actually can't release it either. My bad.
See, I think it'll be interesting. We'll probably know for sure, like, how far they were able to film before the break once we see the debut of 02, because in the magazine scans for 02. There was no photos that showed that suit, like, in the show, like we usually get. And everything in that magazine scan was just like a picture of the suit, which they could have just taken, a picture of the guy in the suit. For the magazine. Yeah. So I don't think that they had, before they had resumed filming, which they've been filming now for like a couple weeks, I think. But before they resumed filming, I don't think they had filmed 02's introduction yet.
Oh. Oh no.
Fun fact about the magazine scans that, like you were saying, they don't really show any screenshots from the show. A lot of, there was, at least occasionally when I was doing the news blogs, there would occasionally be people saying, hey, did that monster get revived? And it's because a lot of the like promotional images that they'll use showing off a rider or form will have them fighting monsters that have already been killed off.
Uh-huh.
Just like as part of the presentation, it's very confusing when it happens.
Interesting.
I think there was there were a few of them for Gaim where it was just rider matchups that didn't make any sense. Like there was Greedon riding on one of the tulip hoppers.
Mm-hmm. So basically what you're saying is there's a precedent set for the scans not necessarily having anything to do with the show.
Yep.
Okay.
Yeah, not necessarily.
Yeah. Okay. I mean,
also, we are an hour in, so this is a surprising bit of news.
Yeah. Also, by the way, hold up. By the way, you don't have to like rush us. I'm already of the mindset this episode's going to be very long, so just take as long as you need.
Yeah. I don't really have any of the information for this particular news in front of me. I just wanted to open up with this. I had been making these random predictions about SHODO for a little bit, like the Huma gear stuff, the Barothama gear. And Blade Raider at one point in our Discord said, you know what? Screw it. I'm just going to predict that they make SHODO Digimon. No reason, just random guess.
And then it happened. Like,
did you see? Did you hear? Did you know it was coming?
It was another one of those Pokemon situations where it just sort of happened, and you're like, "Excuse me,
you can't do that."
Okay, if you want. Well, I mean, first of all, congrats to Blade Raider. I'm happy that you're getting your set. Initially, I thought this was going to be only premium Bandai. You get the 3 figures, 3 Shokugan bases, and the box art was going to be done by a man who has a name. I forgot. But he was one of the designers on Digimon, and he was designing the box art for it.
Oh, nice.
Yeah, and it was going to be a very expensive set. And then Rai, thankfully, in Twitter DMs with us, she was saying, "Oh wait, was it Chris? I don't remember who, but someone posted that.
I think it was Rai.
Was it Rai?
I was saying I thought I saw Shuki say something on Twitter.
Yeah, she did. Because, like, she discovered it, or someone had discovered it and put it in our Streets chat. And then she went ahead and said something about it. But basically, there is a retail set. These are more expensive than your standard SHODO releases, so keep that in mind. There is a set of 6, I think, that was made available on HLJ. And, this is for the newcomers to SHODO. You're probably going to get extras, obviously. You might be able to split with a friend, but never count on it because they always do something stupid.
Who's the popular one? Put 2 more in.
Yeah, put 2 more and then short pack someone else. Probably the girl.
Short pack the one that's kind of cool, but it doesn't have as much of a following.
Yeah. So,
speaking of, who's in the set?
Huh?
I was about to say, speaking of who is in this set, all I really saw was the initial announcement.
Well, I will have some answers for you
Are you familiar with Digimon?
No.
Ah.
Are
I've been at it
you?
for several years.
Okay, I got him.
I know
'cause
nothing
I
about
actually,
it.
the reason the post took me so long is because I actually had to look up the name, so I don't know them offhand. War Greymon,
Mm-hmm.
Angel Woman, and Garudamon.
There you go.
These are friendly faces.
Garurumon, is that like a bird one, or because there's two that have very similar names.
Also, is this technically the second Shodo female figure that we've had?
Sure,
maybe,
possibly. That's interesting.
Whichever comes out first.
When does this come out? Pretty sure.
So that's Garurumon is the bird, and then
I think this comes out October.
Yeah, I was gonna say I thought it was like a late fall release.
Yeah.
Where Garurumon is a super powerful form of the secondary rider's Digimon, and then Angelwomon is the waifu.
Did you say secondary rider?
I'm using familiar terminology.
Fine. Yeah, this is neat. The premium Bandai one's like $50. And it's, I mean, we've seen no changes between the art they're using for the premium one and the standard retail release, so I don't think there are any paint differences. Really, the only difference that we've noted so far, things can change, are the box art and the stands that have their logos on them.
Mm-hmm.
So,
also, all of these are like from the first season. So,
interesting.
There you go.
Well, I mean, once again, congratulations to the Digimon fans out there. You now have a taste of what Candy Toy can do for you.
Now buy it.
Yeah.
Man, this is just all the 90s anime that I watched as a kid.
They also...
It's like Pokemon, Digimon, Dragon Ball.
Yeah.
All in Shodo.
My favorite anime was Kamen Rider. I don't know if you had said this already, because like I was sort of lagging out when you were talking about names. Did you talk about the 3 that were teased?
No. I did see one silhouette in it. I don't remember the name of it, but I do remember the design.
It's
like
it's like Metal Dog Dude.
Okay.
Blade Raider, please help us in the comments. Metal Dog Dude.
Yeah, we obviously don't know.
Huh?
We obviously have no idea.
Yeah. So Metal Dog Dude, Big Bad Beetle Boy, and wings, 6 of them for a person.
It's something adjacent. Name. It's something adjacent to Angemon, which is kind of paladin themed, I think.
No. Hers is Angelwoman.
Well, yeah, but there's also.
I also saw an Angemon.
Yes, that's what I was saying.
Oh,
it's like the one in that T silhouette is something adjacent to Angemon, where it's like more of a paladin themed.
Interesting. Okay.
Digimon is very confusing, so it doesn't help that I don't remember it very well.
Forgive our ignorance. We're doing our best here. There's a lot of news.
We're definitely trying.
Yeah. Let's
Speaking of news,
let's walk away from this for now.
Let's talk about another set of monsters, the Amazon's crew.
Well, no, we do have one small bit of news coming out of Ami Pre-Orders. And thanks to this one is thanks to C Long 83, Chris Long's Toys, Chris Long, who told us that he was telling us that, hey, HLJ just put up shodo-x, the next one, and then also Yudo 2 for Kiramager.
shodo-x 10.
10? Okay.
I think 10. I think.
Yeah. No, that makes sense. But then in the listing, the Ami listing, it said that we're getting Kirame Silver, Garza.
I'm so
parts...
shocked about Silver.
Huh?
I can't believe Silver's in there.
Oh, I know. I mean, there is a shocker in there, but not.
Oh,
shocker,
wait a minute!
but...
I just realized.
Yeah.
I just realized it.
Yeah. So we got Silver.
I've seen this lineup for like 24 hours, and I just realized what's surprising about it.
Yeah. So we got Silver. We got 2 halves of Garza, armor and body. We got the the grunt of the season.
The grunt, yeah.
And then the 5th one is a weapons pack. No red in sight.
Oh, that's beautiful.
None.
See, the thing that I thought you were about to say is the surprise of this wave is that they would actually include the princess.
Mm-hmm.
Oh no, I'm sorry. It's not that surprising.
Because one thing that I didn't really mention about the Glister injection mini plot thing is that at the end they show a set of candy toy vinyls for Kiramager, and it actually includes the princess.
I've been on the brink. Oh, you just reminded me about something in my package.
Oh,
which sounds weird, but
see, now that we're actually getting Garza in the Yudo set, I kind of want to track down that little candy toy vinyl of Mabushina just to have with the Yudo figures.
Yeah, I mean, I've been like, what is my phone doing? I've been on the brink of getting into the Safabi Hero line just because, like, oh, you mean to say that there's a 3 3/4 to 4 inch line that has everything that comes out yearly, is cheap, and then also, I don't know, there are a lot of positives to it. They're like, 3 points of articulation, but like, they're $5, whatever, man. Like,
right.
Legitimately, one thing that I was actually considering recently on Instagram, there's this one person that does a lot of group shots of like candy toy figures with a different kind of theme with each of them. One of them was just like a set of riders who are machine themed, so it was like Chaser, Kikai, and then they had candy toy vinyls of Heart and Brain from Drive.
Oh, that's cool.
It's like there are a lot of them, which
those.
It surprised me that I couldn't find one for platform. I was really sad because, like, I was, like, you and I both want to create, just, you've already done it. I'm still in the process of trying to make my SHODO platform, and I was thinking there's got to be a better way, but they don't have a Safabi Hero, so I don't know, man. Why do they got to make it tough? This is a very big tangent, but platform is such a strange blind spot for SHODO. I don't understand why that doesn't exist. I also don't. I wonder if the what are they called? The Ichiban Kuji toys were supposed to have them, and they were like, "Oh, this doesn't make any money. We're not doing this anymore," and then pulled the plug right out.
Well, it's the fact that they were so close to platform with the like, body. I don't know what happened there.
I'm so confused. I will pay for it. I'll buy it.
Oh,
so
I know
don't
you
have to
will.
make it. Like,
right.
I don't know why they're not doing it, but whatever, man.
You can't even say that it wouldn't sell because, like, hey, guess what Figure-Eyes is doing? Guess what Figure Arts is doing?
Yeah,
I know. I can't believe Figure Arts is doing platform. Like,
you know what? If they released a platform set on Premium Bandai with platform and then New Deno's platform and then
Zeronos?
Does he have a platform?
All of the Deno riders do.
Okay,
technically.
I felt
not as elaborate as Deno's.
Oh yeah, they're not as elaborate at all. But
you make me a platform set, I'm buying it from you. Like,
I was about to bring up joking about how, like, that would potentially be the most bland set, but at the same time, I'd be into it. Like, here's a bunch of base forms.
100%.
Not even base forms, like half base forms.
Yeah. So I don't know, man. Get on it. Why do I have to make it? You're the toy company. I'm just a dude. Anyway.
But back to the Yudo.
Yeah.
I mean, Silver, cool. We knew he was going to be here.
Yeah.
The Grunt also kind of assumed he was going to be here. They've been doing that.
Yeah, eventually.
Right.
Yeah.
Garza, though, I'm really happy about that.
It's neat. Like, really, what else would you have done?
I mean, I completely agree. What they have done, but I just wasn't sure if they actually would bother.
Yeah. I wonder why because like it's a set of 12 or a box of 12, and the original set was a box of 12, and that had 6 figures or 6 separate boxes. I wonder, because like they did say it was a tentative layout. I wonder if they just didn't put them in there yet. Like they didn't say
the red.
Yet. Yeah.
Honestly, he probably is in it, but who knows? I don't know.
Yeah, I'm not sure. Like
they just forget to update the listing, so when it finally arrives, you're like, wait, why are there 5 Red Rangers in here?
Yeah.
Yeah, Garza's actually a placeholder for red.
Yeah, that's right.
Yeah.
Do you know Garza is Croatian for red?
Oh no.
I wonder, because this is shodo-x now, not Yudo.
Yeah.
So potentially, like, this is a new thing happening now. I wonder what, sort of forms we're going to be getting later, but like...
because we don't really know much else about what the show's going to have.
Exactly. So
I assume, and they would have done this really in either way, I think, but like I assume Silver's probably going to have a alternate head and things like that.
Yeah. I wonder, because the accessory set's obviously just going to have, like Garza's sword. Well, maybe not Garza's sword.
I think probably his sword.
Really? Okay.
I wonder. I'm really curious if, since they said that Garza's like a body and an armor, which makes sense for like what his character is, but I wonder if like the body will just be like how he is under the armor, like like
the head.
You remember like what he looks like before he had the armor.
Yeah. I mean,
it'd be really cool if they actually went like through the effort of doing that.
If they gave us a swappable head at the very least, I'd be alright with that.
Yeah, I think that they could maybe actually pull that off.
Yeah, and then put on a different head.
Right.
Yeah, so... yeah, that accessory set, though, sword... Does he have a shield?
No, he just has a sword.
No, so sword, the rake, and a bunch of little bits for
and then it'd be
Silver,
like the two different modes
versions of his weapon.
Yeah, the 2 modes of his weapon, alternate head, and then like probably some hands or something.
That's not too much.
No, it's not.
I'm wondering if they'll throw in like Yudo-sized gems. Then I don't have to make it myself.
Oh, that'd be cool.
Yeah.
Do like a hand where they're holding the Gemini thing.
Yeah. Oh, I would love a Gemini.
Nice.
Because I mean, you and I have talked about this at length, but it would be so easy just to go into Blender and just extrude all those out. Like,
oh yeah.
It has the geometries of, hey, this has been designed in a 3D modeling program, probably printed out at some point, and then recast in whatever material you wanted.
Right.
On the subject of just putting something out in different materials, maybe even different colors, it's kind of a shame that they don't really do the Monster of the Week, because this show would be very easy to do that.
Oh, that's
because
true.
It's so minimalistic.
They're mainly just like head swaps.
Yeah, exactly.
In an ideal world, like, we would have a villain set, and it would probably come with another grunt, but then...
In an ideal world, we would have that for both Rider and Sentai.
Yeah, that would be, the best place to live. that world.
For sure.
But that'll never happen. I'm ready to eat my words, Yudo. I'm ready. It won't happen. Never. The enemy said it'll never happen.
Garza and the Grunt is the furthest we're gonna go. I mean, that's why I'm even surprised we're getting Garza.
I know.
I mean, like, you're right about like what else would they do, because there's no forms and stuff in the show yet.
Yeah.
But still, I just didn't think that they would actually bother.
Part of me wants the show to just sort of not have anything else in terms of forms and stuff, just to say that Yudo finally completed something for once.
Oh, don't worry. In about 2 weeks from now, we're gonna get the listings for whatever Red's power up is gonna be. Because we're gonna get whatever his power up is alongside the listings for Saber's first quarter.
Okay. Well, I mean, like, I was gonna ask, then what else would you put in the Yudo 3? But, like, we don't know enough. Like, the show is 11 episodes in, and we don't have scans. So
anything
no
that would be a power up form and stuff would be a potential third set.
Yeah. Hey, did you know that Saber is showing up in Yudo 3?
Oh, really?
Yeah.
More I mean, but then again, they really dropped the ball so hard last year. They never made Max Resoul Red somehow. So, who knows if we'll actually get Red's power up?
Yeah.
I still can't believe they didn't at least do Max Resoul Red. How did they skip that?
Right. They always have enough. They always have enough room to do more. And they don't. And I feel like it's because maybe they don't have enough faith in Yudo.
I was about to say, this is why people get really excited with those Shodo Sentai, because look at how Yudo is treating Sentai.
See, it's weird because it's like people aren't backing Yudo because they've yet to finish anything. And if they're not finishing anything because no one's backing them, well, it's just this never-ending circle until someone budges.
Yeah, I mean, like, we do have people support, like...
Well, I mean, yeah, we do. But, like, you know, I think it would be more popular if they had the same dedication to what they're doing as to what SHODO does.
Well, I feel like it's like a different case. Like, I mean, I've said this many times. And I've said this many times.
We've
debated
what I'm
it. About to say.
We've debated it so many times, especially with, trying to figure out how they could have squeezed out the rest of Resoldier and Loop Hat and things like that.
Yeah. I feel like just because there's no... Like, kids are going to get the Sofubi heroes or the Sofubi just regular big ones and be fine.
Right.
Like, never need anything else. And they'll be fine. Yudo is like that little crossover between kid and adult collector. Some may say a teen collector. I don't know why I said in between adult and kid, but...
I think there's a word for that.
Yeah, I've heard of it. So... I feel like there's not enough crossover because Sentai just skews so young. But there is... Who is messaging me? Oh my god! Excuse me. But yeah, there's just... There's not enough, I feel like, in between. Demand in between.
Yeah.
So... God, can you? Will you not? Oh my god!
What? Hey.
What?
Oh! Dude, okay. Breaking news, not at all SHODO related. Firefly, Bronze Tiger, Talon, and the Hooded Robin are out. My friend found them. For the DC line.
What?
This has nothing to do with SHODO.
Oh.
Wait. Want me to wait to find a pair for you? Hold on.
We interrupt this with breaking news.
Sorry.
Oh no, you're good. I totally get that.
Yeah, my friend's been searching for these for me because, like, his area's been getting all of them for some reason. Oh my god.
I keep forgetting that I have a whole list of those that I need to buy this fall.
Yeah.
Because there's like 6 more that I plan on getting, so...
Oh my god, I'm sending this to... Oh my god, I'm sending this to the group. Oh my god, I'm sorry. Got completely derailed.
You're good, you're good.
This is all going in, by the way.
It better because of your reaction. That was great.
Yeah, that was a really good reaction.
Dude, are you kidding me? I didn't know. He's checking 2 more Walmarts to find more figures.
So which series is this? Series 2 or whatever? Or?
I don't know. These waves are so strange. But this was not listed in the what's his name? Joe Acevedo website as coming out at all. Like
is your list like up to date on these? Because I need to remember how many I need to remember how many I told myself I'm buying.
The list itself, I don't think there are any new figures, but I don't think I put any like release dates next to them.
Okay.
So yeah, so keep in mind Firefly, Bronze Tiger, Talon, and Robin. We did get confirmation just now. His name is Bronze Tiger. I didn't know who else it could have been, but technically Bronze Tiger.
Oh, that's true. I guess we didn't really know that. For 100%.
But like he's not technically an actual tiger, except for now here.
Well, cool. That was a fun live on the podcast reaction.
Yeah. Oh my god. My friend's looking for more because like he has another friend.
Now we're happy that
called dibs, but
now we're happy that Corey's phone is going off during.
I was so angry at my phone, but oh man, that's so good.
You know what?
Oh.
Wow. While we're in between topics, I hate to say it's starting to get late. I need to do some work around here on an apartment, so you guys can do the review and round out the podcast.
Sure. Yeah. So, yeah. Thanks for hanging out, Malunis. I guess we'll round out the podcast with the review on our own.
I mean, we could just save the review for the next episode, where we've gone pretty long.
You know what? That's fair. We'll just have lied at the beginning of the episode, and I'm okay with that. Malunis. Oh wait, Malunis fully just left without saying anything. Oh wait, he's back again. This is such a chaotic podcast. Hello. Oh hey.
Yeah.
Oh yeah. All right. I'm hearing a lot of feedback from myself, but we're just gonna end it here. So if you have enough time, go ahead and stay to say goodbye. But guys, that was all of everything that we just talked about.
Yeah, there was a lot of news.
Yeah,
episode.
Yeah, this is not the longest episode, but this is
it's up there.
Yeah, this is pretty intense. This is not going to come out for a very long time, but thank you so much for listening. We made it to 61 episodes. This is very strange. That's a lot of time that we took up from you. I'm sorry. Hey, also
next week
make
we're
sure
gonna be at 62. That's crazy.
Yeah, make sure to check out the audio versions of this podcast that are becoming available, and we are catching up. We are so close. I have up to 52 set out and ready, but nice. I think by the time 52 rolls around, I'll have everything else ready to go. So, if you'd rather listen to this podcast rather than watch it on YouTube, you have that option. Also, as always, all the links are in the description down below to how you can help support the Black Lives Matter movement. I recognize that by the time the last episode went up, the itch.to thing, or the thing you were talking about, Malunis, that had already concluded. In one of our more recent videos, I believe, I wanted to shout them out real quick. Peacemaker 2448 said that bundle has wrapped up, but there is another Humble bundle for $30, supporting NAACP, Legal Defense Fund, Race Forward, and the Bail Project. That was available at that time, but at this point, I don't know if that's even available anymore. It probably isn't, but there are still always tons of ways to help, and the links in the description down below to those cards will, get you to where you need to be. That said, guys, thank you for listening. My friends, thank you for sticking around for an extra half hour. And do you have the key near you, Malunis?
I do.
Oh, okay. Well, guys, thanks for listening.
Keep it
healthy.
There you go.
Nice.
Tsukuyomi.